So guys, it looks like we have a brand new scary movie coming soon, and I don't mean like just a scary movie, I mean like the scary movie, the parody horror saga. It was so damn funny. It came out in the early 2000s. I remember as a young kid going to school, me and my friends watched these movies and we mimicked the characters. We would, repeat the dialogue and the plot lines at school. People would use the jokes on each other. It was so funny. It was part of the popular culture zeitgeist for a very long time. The jokes, you could still use them now. They're so funny. The first two movies, I believe that there's 5 scary movies altogether. The first 2 are definitely worth watching. Some classic, best of all time horror, comedy, parody movies, the first 2. The other 3, not so funny. They kind of went off the rails a bit. The comedy became a bit ridiculous, too ridiculous in my opinion. But check out those first 2 scary movies if you haven't seen them. But anyway, guys, we're here to talk about this new movie. So let's dive into this article from Comic Book Movie. Let's break down some of the information and details and see what we can learn about the new scary movie. So, new scary movie officially moving forward with Marlon, Sean, and Keenan Ivory Wayans on board. So, with the original actors coming back, some of the original actors, which I think is really fun, and it'd be great to see them back again. So, the scary movie franchise has officially been resurrected for better or worse. Following April's CinemaCon announcement that a reboot of the horror parody series was in development, Deadline is reporting that the 6th movie is moving forward with the original creative team of Marlon Wayans, Sean Wayans, and Keenan Ivory Wayans back on board. Keenan Ivory wrote and directed the first 2 films. Like I said, those first 2 films, absolutely watch them. If you love horror, parody, like comedy, like things that take the mick out of horror films, it's just really funny beyond. Trust me, those first 2 movies, there won't be a minute that passes where you won't be rolling around on the floor laughing your ass off. It's so damn funny. While Marlon and Sean contributed to the scripts and also starred, it's unknown if the brothers will assume the same roles this time. So fans are hopeful that Anna Faris and Regina Hall will return to lead this new movie, but there's no word on casting just yet. So we're in very early, probably pre-production early days. There's no casting list at the moment or anything like that, guys, so very new information here. Rick Alvarez has also been enlisted as a writer and producer, along with Fast and Furious and Sonic the Hedgehog's Neil H. Moritz. Quote, "We are thrilled to reunite Scary Movie with the Wayans brothers, the brilliant creators behind the beloved franchise," says Miramax boss Jonathan Glickman. The timing is perfect to bring back the series to the big screen, and we're lucky to have Keenan, Marlon, and Sean's unique comedic vision, bringing it to the audiences around the world. The Wayans added in a joint statement, "We couldn't be more excited to be part of the new Scary Movie and work with each other once again. This is a franchise we created more than 20 years ago. We remember people laughing in the aisles and hope to see that happen again. We look forward to working with Jonathan Glickman and his team at the new Miramax to bring these laughs to theaters where they belong. It's a double reunion." So a bit of information here about the original Scary Movie. Most of the Scary movies performed well at the box office, taking in north of $896 million worldwide through 5 installments. So for this small little horror sort of parody comedy saga of these 5 movies, they almost generated $900 million between the 5 movies. And for these kind of ridiculous parody kind of horror comedies, to generate that much money is beyond ridiculous, and it has no business generating that much money. But it just goes to show you, back in the 2000s, these kind of parody sketch comedy type of movies, they were all the rage back in the early 2000s. So the 2000 original was one of the biggest R-rated horror movies of all time back in the day, but by the 5th, the entry had rolled around, audiences seemed to have grown tired of the same recycled jokes. Yeah, they used the same sort of tired motifs, and also because they were trying to up themselves every time a new movie came out, by the time it got to the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, the jokes became ridiculous. They became too far removed from what these first 2 movies were, and it just felt a bit outlandish, a bit crazy, and you're kind of watching it, and it doesn't feel funny. It just feels like ridiculous, if that makes sense. So the Wayans certainly have a lot more material to take aim at for this movie, but they will succeed in reigniting cinema goers' interests. So obviously we have this post here from Marlon Wayans. We're back after nearly 20 years. The Wayans brothers are finally going to give fans what they've been asking for, a return to Scary Movie franchise. We're looking forward to having fun on the big screen again. And obviously we've got him here and one of the Wayans brothers, and then we've got Ghostface in the back. But Ghostface is this kind of parody version. as you can see, he's got this like crazy tongue that's sticking out, and his face looks kind of funny. And in the first scary movie, the first or second scary movie, he's always like smoking, he's always getting high. And that classic scene where he's on the phone and they're going, "What's up?" Like on the...
We got the phone!
Yo.
What's up?
Phone. The thing that will always stick in my mind, the very first scary movie, there's this blonde chick who's being chased by Ghostface, and as she's running through the house, she stops, and there's a table, and there's like a knife, a grenade, a handgun, and a banana, and she's being chased by the Ghostface, the killer. And instead of her picking up one of these lethal weapons, she like picks up the banana. I think it's a banana she picks up, and it's like the most ridiculous funny thing I've ever seen. Like... So defying the very notion of good taste, Scary Movie out-parodies the pop culture parodies with a no-holds-bar assault on the most popular images and talked-about moments from recent films. Television and commercials. The film boldly fires barbs at the classic scenes from Scream, The Sixth Sense, The Matrix, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and The Blair Witch Project, then goes on to mock a whole myriad of teen movie cliches, no matter the genre. So yeah, that's what it basically does, a horror comedy parody. So it takes horror movies, and it takes like really intense horror movies, but then the scenes that you're used to from those horror movies, it changes them up and makes them into humor, parody kind of sketches, and they're so damn funny. They'll have you laughing on the floor. Like I keep saying, I know I've said it ad nauseum at this point, but check out those first two Scary Movies if you haven't seen them. If you like comedy movies, trust me, it's time well spent. So that's kind of where we are, guys. So it looks like the Wayans brothers are coming back. We've got Marlon, Sean, and Keen Ivory Wayans on board. And as you can see in the background here again, funny ghost face. But yeah, I'm really excited for this to see what they do. There's so much material out there from them to pull from. But surely they have to be careful, you know, not to copyright material that's out there. They have to change up the scenes ever so slightly. They would have to change up the scenes quite a lot to make sure they're not copywriting movies. So you can use a sketch and make fun of a certain horror film, but then you'd have to change it to a point that it wouldn't be copyrighted by the actual studio you're trying to take the mick out of, if you know what I mean. So yeah, they'd have to be careful. So for example, if they were doing a comedy sketch within a new Scary Movie of, say, Chainsaw Massacre, they would take a scene from Chainsaw Massacre, make it ridiculously funny, but then surely you'd have to change the scene up to a point that you're not directly copying it, because then the Chainsaw Massacre production team could then sue you for copying their movie, even though you're doing a kind of a parody version of it. So I'm not sure how the copyright law would work there, but you know, it's not my problem. I'm not making the movie, but I'm just saying that's an interesting angle as to how they would kind of deal with that while making this type of movie. But yeah, guys, so Scary Movie 6 is coming. I think this is going to be great. If they can make it really fun, if they can make it really bold, kind of crazy, energetic, if they can keep the comedy coming like those first two movies, then I think we're going to be in for something special. I've been looking for a great comedy film for such a long time. We don't get many comedies anymore, and it's kind of a shame. So guys, I throw it off to you. Jump down into the comment section. Let me know what you think. Are you excited for a brand new Scary Movie, or do you think this is a movie franchise that should be left back in the early 2000s? Whatever your thoughts are, guys, can't wait to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.